Archangel Michael says, "Have you noticed unexpected fees? Sudden changes in your retirement fund? A sinking feeling in your chest that whispers, 'Something's not right.' What if I told you it isn't just your imagination? What if the very system that promised to protect you is the same one preparing to take what you've built? Have you wondered why your peace keeps getting disturbed when you think about your future? Or why that financial advisor suddenly feels off, even though nothing obvious has changed? This is not paranoia. This is prophecy. Archangel Michael says, "There is a trap being prepared, but I have arrived in time." Tonight, I was commanded to speak with fire in my voice, because this message is not for everyone. It is for you, beloved soul. You who have worked for decades, saved diligently, trusted the promises of a secure future, but something in your spirit has remained unsettled. Let me confirm what your soul has been whispering. The enemy has set his eyes on the elderly. Yes, you, the ones who carry wisdom, legacy, and spiritual wealth. He knows that if he can confuse your mind, he can misdirect your money. If he can delay your discernment, he can disrupt your divine protection. But I, Michael, have been sent to stop it. Not with fear, but with truth. Not with panic, but with preparation. The 404 you feel in your spirit, the not found, the access denied, is a spiritual alert. A divine error code telling you something is being blocked for your protection. This message will reveal how to unlock what's rightfully yours. Your peace, your provision, your protection. Type 777 if you are ready to expose what the enemy tried to hide. Archangel Michael says, "You trusted them." The smiling voice on the phone. The neighbor who said they used to work in finance. The paper you signed without really understanding all the fine print. The brochure that promised peace but concealed a pit. And now you're wondering, why does it feel like your peace has been slowly leaking? Why does your sleep break in the middle of the night with thoughts of, what if I run out? Listen to me. This is not your fault, but this is your moment to wake up. I am Michael. I do not come with soft whispers today. I come with a sword unsheathed, standing in front of your house. Because while you rested, something crept in. Quietly, politely, professionally, and now it wants to rob you in your later years. Yes, even the devil knows how to wear a business suit. You see, deception doesn't always enter with flames. Sometimes it comes wrapped in paperwork. Sometimes it comes with words like guaranteed, secure, protected. But in the spirit realm, those words were laced with falsehood. There's been an assignment sent to drain the wealth of the elderly, especially those whose lives were built on prayer. The enemy saw your devotion. He saw your sacrifice. And he thought, if I can't stop them in their youth, I'll target them in their rest. But I, Michael, was sent to interrupt that plan. There is a financial deception cloaked in peace, and it looks like wisdom. But it was crafted in fear. It was birthed by manipulation. And if you're not alert, it will take your trust and turn it into a spiritual doorway for delay. Let me tell you what I see. I see contracts that were explained too quickly. I see safe investments that actually benefit the advisor more than you. I see someone in your circle, perhaps even family, who is not being completely honest about their motives. Yes, I know this is painful, but I am not here to flatter. I am here to warn. This system wasn't designed to honor you. It was designed to use you. But God does not forget his faithful. Heaven does not overlook your years. And tonight I have been dispatched to tell you that something is being revealed. Do not be alarmed if a strange call comes this week. Do not ignore it when you feel unsettled after a visit. That is discernment rising. That is your spirit rejecting what your mind was trained to tolerate. You may feel tempted to say, "Well, I don't want to cause drama. I don't want to be suspicious." But listen to me, child of light. Silence is not always peace. Sometimes silence is surrender. And that's why heaven is shaking the walls tonight. That's why your chest feels tight reading this. Because your soul knows, I'm not just talking. I'm revealing. There is paperwork you need to recheck. There is a trusted person you need to pray about. And there is a lie that has been spoken over your retirement. That it's too late. That you're stuck. That you can't change anything now. That is a demonic agreement. Break it. Say out loud, right now, I cancel every agreement that steals from my peace. Because the enemy is subtle. He doesn't need to break into your home when he already has access to your account. He doesn't need to touch your body if he can drain your joy. But I was not sent to frighten you. I was sent to open your eyes. The Lord has shown me there is still time. You are not too late. Your years are not a decline. They are a divine crescendo. And I have been given permission to speak this loud. If you still have breath, then you still have power. There is a way out. There is a way through. There is a way up. But first, remove the blindfolds. Who gave you the idea that asking questions was disrespectful? Who trained you to believe you were too old to understand? That was not me. That was manipulation. And tonight I declare, it stops. This chapter of false peace, false protection, and hidden theft is closed. Now begins a new one, where you walk with eyes wide open, where no document is signed without peace, where no voice overrides your discernment, where every plan for your finances is first submitted to the Spirit. And know this, I'm not leaving your house tonight. Michael remains. Standing at the threshold, I will guard what belongs to you. But you must act. Check the drawer. Pray before you answer that call. Call your real friend, not the familiar voice who always knows someone. This is your alarm, your shield, your sword, and it starts today. Type 444 if you're declaring, no more hidden deception, no more false peace. I walk in divine clarity now. Archangel Michael says, the enemy has a blueprint to rob your retirement, but heaven has a counter strategy. And I've been deployed to reveal it. You must understand, this is not just a money issue. This is a spiritual security breach. Your wealth is not simply cash in a bank. It is a legacy wrapped in years of prayer, patience, and sacrifice. Every dollar you've saved carries your history, your story, your silent battles. That's why I'm not coming to you today as a gentle whisper. I am coming as a warrior, sword drawn, wings extended, armor glowing with heaven's fire, because a breach has been attempted, and I will not let it succeed. You may not have realized it, but in the spirit realm, a war has already broken out over your peace. Demonic agents of deception have been dispatched to target the elderly, especially those marked with divine favor. They know that if they can cause panic, they can trigger poor decisions. If they can plant doubt, they can influence your agreements. If they can stir confusion, they can weaken your covering. But, child of God, I was not sent to tell you about the darkness. I was sent to announce the light. Heaven has initiated your protection plan. Let me walk you through it. 1. The shield of discernment is being reactivated. Lately, have you felt more suspicious? Have you noticed little red flags you didn't catch before? A strange tone, a forgotten promise, a sudden urgency to sign something? That's not paranoia. That's discernment waking up again. God is sharpening your senses. He's removing the fog that was placed over your eyes by past trust, past trauma, and past manipulation. You will begin to feel it more now, when a voice is lying, when an opportunity is actually a trap, when something safe doesn't sit right. Don't dismiss it. That's my hand brushing your shoulder. That's heaven saying, stop, pray first. 2. The repositioning of allies. Some people will begin to distance themselves from you. Let them. Others will suddenly come closer. Test them. Heaven is rearranging your circle, not to isolate you, but to insulate you. The right voices will begin to emerge, the ones who truly care, the ones who don't benefit from your fear, the ones who speak peace without pressure. Pay attention to these divine replacements. They carry keys to protect your decisions. 3. The locking down of spiritual access. A spiritual door that was left open, perhaps through unspoken agreement, unhealed wounds, or financial fear, is being sealed. You may feel sudden urges to cut ties, delete contacts, cancel certain plans. Follow that nudge. Heaven is locking out those who came too close to your treasure. And I, Michael, am standing at that door. Nothing gets past me unless you open it. 4. The resurgence of financial justice. This will surprise you. What was lost may return. A refund, an unexpected check, a legal decision in your favor, a discovery in paperwork. But listen, these are not coincidences. They are spiritual reimbursements. For every seed you gave in faith, every time you were cheated quietly, every financial loss you never spoke of but wept over, heaven recorded it. And now heaven is repaying it. You may feel unworthy to receive this blessing, but I speak with fire. God does not forget his own. 5. A prophetic guard over your decisions. From this moment forward, I declare that you will not be tricked again. You will not sign in haste. You will not fall for urgency scams or fear-based threats. Your heart will beat slower. Your eyes will see clearer. Your peace will remain steady. Because I will guard your next move. Every time you begin to doubt yourself, I will whisper clarity. Every time someone offers you something too good, I will tilt the room with divine weight until you hesitate long enough to hear God. I am not just defending your wealth. I am defending your legacy, your grandchildren, your future influence. the spiritual seeds you've planted for decades. Nothing is going to be wasted. Nothing is going to be stolen. Nothing is going to be left exposed. Because heaven's strategy is active now. But hear me, child. This plan requires your participation. Do not delay when the Spirit nudges you. Do not apologize for asking hard questions. Do not fall for emotional traps disguised as help. Your obedience is the key. I've seen the traps, the lies, the manipulation cloaked as kindness, and I've also seen your strength. Your prayers are still moving in the Spirit. Your name is still written on heaven's scrolls. And I, Michael, vow before the throne of God, I will stand between you and every plot to drain your security. So don't be afraid. This is not the end. It's the beginning of divine recovery, and I'm not leaving your side. Type 888. If you receive this shield and claim heaven's protection over your wealth, your peace, and your future. Archangel Michael says, you didn't want to cause conflict. You didn't want to offend anyone. So you stayed quiet. You stayed respectful. You smiled through the confusion and nodded through the discomfort. But now you're wondering, was that silence a mistake? Child of God, I say this with a heart burning with both sorrow and justice. Yes, your silence became the very thing they used to set the trap. But don't blame yourself. That's not why I came. I, Archangel Michael, have watched. I have listened. I have wept over the unspoken injustice. And now, I have been released to speak what was hidden, to reveal what was twisted in the quiet. You thought peace meant ignoring the strange behavior. You thought love meant not questioning the person handling your papers. You told yourself, maybe I'm overreacting, as your gut twisted each time they asked for more information, more access, more control. But I was there. Whispering, pressing, nudging. Look closer. Ask again. And now you're here, reading these words because heaven refused to stay quiet any longer. Let me show you what was hiding behind the silence. There's a person, someone familiar. Family, perhaps. Or someone you've trusted for years. They've been using your silence as permission, slowly, cautiously, but surely, checking your accounts, watching how much you question, smiling each time you say, whatever you think is best. They are not just mistaken, they are strategic, not always malicious, but selfish, fear-driven. And fear has a way of turning people into manipulators. They've taken your trust and turned it into leverage. They've taken your vulnerability and turned it into permission. They've created a world where you stay quiet, and they stay in control. And that, beloved, is no longer acceptable in heaven's eyes. I have been sent not just to guard, but to disrupt. Because the silence you thought would keep peace has instead opened a spiritual door of delay. You've prayed for clarity. You've asked for signs. You've begged heaven to just show you what's really going on. This message is the answer. Yes, someone is using your age as an excuse to withhold information. Yes, someone made a financial decision behind your back. Yes, someone knows they've crossed a line, but they've convinced themselves you'll never find out. But heaven knows, and I know, and now you will know. There is a moment coming, very soon, when their mask will slip. not because you go looking for it, but because heaven has arranged a holy exposure. They will say something in passing, a comment that doesn't align with a previous promise. You'll hear it. Your spirit will immediately react. That moment, listen closely, it is your divine confirmation. You'll know it when it happens. You'll feel the fire in your chest. It will be subtle, but sacred. It will not be meant for you to hear, but you will. And when it happens, do not excuse it away. Do not say they didn't mean it. They didn't. Do not bury your knowing to protect their image. Your silence is no longer protection. It is participation. And heaven says no more. You may ask, Michael, what if I confront them? What if it causes chaos? Child, you are not confronting in rage. You are standing in truth. And truth, when spoken from the Spirit, does not cause chaos. It causes correction. Let the Spirit lead your words. Let heaven guide your timing. But do not stay silent anymore. I am restoring your voice. I am restoring your power. And hear me, this is not about revenge. This is about recovery. There are documents with your name that were altered without your knowing. There are beneficiaries listed who should not be there. There are financial decisions that will not favor you if they are left unchallenged. This is not about paranoia. This is about protection. I'm not just your guard. I'm your witness. I saw it all. The phone call they made in the hallway. The email they quickly deleted. The way their face changed when you asked, "Can you explain that again?" They didn't just lie to you. They lied about you. They've said things like, "They're getting forgetful," or "Don't bother them with details." And those words have created a false perception, one that could cost you everything. But no more. Because your strength is returning. Your clarity is returning. And I, Michael, have drawn a line around your future. Nothing passes without heaven's permission now. I will sound the alarm in your spirit. I will stir your tongue when it needs to speak. I will burn away the fog that once made you second-guess what your gut already knew. You are not confused. You were being deceived. And now you are being delivered. Type 999 if you receive your voice back. Heaven says, this chapter of silence ends tonight. Archangel Michael says, they told you it was too late, that you're too old, that the damage is done, that your future is fixed and there's nothing you can do but settle into uncertainty. But I, Archangel Michael, speak with authority from the throne of God and say, that is a lie. It is not too late. Not for your peace, not for your provision, not for your protection. There is still time, because heaven has paused the storm just long enough for you to take this message seriously. I have fought for this moment. I have battled in the spirit, sword drawn, wings stretched across your finances, your mind, your future, because something is about to be reversed. And I needed you to hear this before it was too late. The enemy wanted you to sleep through this season, to become passive, to ignore the nudges, to let the damage stay buried and the documents stay hidden. But not anymore. Tonight begins your divine recovery, and it starts here, with one truth. You can take it back, not just your money, but your voice, your trust, your future, your sacred right to feel safe again. I am not offering false hope. I am delivering divine strategy. Let me tell you how this recovery will begin. 1. Heaven will highlight what was hidden. In the next few days, you will be led to something, an envelope, an old email, a forgotten conversation. It will seem insignificant at first, but pay attention. This is not chance. It is a divine breadcrumb. What was hidden to keep you blind is now being brought to the surface. A single word, a date, a name. It will trigger a memory, and that memory will lead you to the moment where things began to shift. When you see it, don't brush it off. That moment is your door. Walk through it. 2. You will receive a divine prompt to revisit a decision. There's something you've agreed to that needs to be reevaluated. Maybe it was a policy, a trust, a delegation of authority. It felt right at the time. But the Spirit is now saying, revisit it. Heaven is giving you grace to make changes without shame. You are not a burden. You are not being difficult. You are being wise. I will give you courage to ask the questions you were once afraid to ask, to request clarity, to demand honesty. Don't fear their reaction. Fear what happens if you don't ask. 3. Someone you didn't expect will offer. Help God is moving someone into your orbit. They won't seem like much at first. Maybe it's a new advisor. Maybe it's a younger relative who suddenly brings up finances. Maybe it's even a stranger who shares a resource you never considered. That person is being guided by divine timing. They carry a key. Test their spirit, but don't reject them too quickly, because sometimes the answer doesn't wear the face you expected. 4. The Spirit will lead you to reclaim what was taken, yes. Taken. There are things in your life that were not lost. They were stolen. A percentage here. A clause there. A decision masked as help that wasn't. And for years, heaven recorded it all. And now the scales are being balanced. You will not only recover, but with interest. A forgotten benefit. An overlooked account. A legal remedy. A divine reversal. The wealth of the wicked has been stored for the righteous. And I say to you, now is your time. 5. Your house will become a fortress again. The fear that sat in your hallways is being evicted. The pressure that stirred each night as you closed your eyes, wondering, will it all be enough, is lifting. I am assigning angels to your home. Angels of clarity, angels of protection, angels of divine movement. Your doorposts will be anointed in the Spirit. Every paper, every plan, every possession, covered, marked, guarded. And if you feel led to make changes, do it. If your spirit stirs to cancel something, obey it. Because now, heaven is guiding your hands. And child, if your heart is breaking because you think you missed your moment, listen closely. You haven't. God delayed the trap. Type 777. If you declare this, I reclaim what was taken. I reset my protection. I rise in wisdom and no longer walk in fear.